Right, well today I'm going to be doing some pork burnt ends, and I've got some here. Now you can buy them all together like that and on a big slab of them, but I'll do these are easier if they're just like this. So what we're going to do first of all is they've got a hard skin, so we don't need that hard skin, but we still want to keep the fat. So if we just start at the end now and then just work your knife along. Let me get a bit of sometimes these are so slippery, you're better off just holding it with a bit of, this is how I do them. If you've got a boning knife you can do them as well, just like a boning knife, but I use this knife. So yeah, so right, well today I'm going to be doing some pork burnt ends, and I've got some here. Now you can buy them all together like that and on a big slab of them, but I'll do these are easier if they're just like this. So what we're going to do first of all is they've got a hard skin, so we don't need that hard skin, but we still want to keep the fat. So if we just start at the end now and then just work your knife along. Let me get a bit of sometimes these are so slippery, you're better off just holding it with a bit of, this is how I do them. If you've got a boning knife you can do them as well, just like a boning knife, but I use this knife. So yeah, so we get into that stage, get rid of this. I mean, if you like a bit of crackling, stick that on as well and do some crackling. It's a bit thick there. They're really thick, get rid of it. But obviously you want to keep the fat because it's going to be your that's what's going to make them tender and juicy, and obviously the flavour. So yeah, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put some of our rub on. So I'll put the recipe on the rub, should come up on the screen about now, and that's the rub we're using. So yeah, so there we go again, it's underneath. Just run your knife along, sort of like an upward direction, and that should just come off. It can be a little bit awkward, but that'll be fine. You might find sometimes there's tiny little bits of bone in there, but if you can get to them, cut them out, then cut them out. There's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So that's all of them. That's all of them done now. So now what we've got to do is we're going to cut these up into chunks. That's about right. About 1.5 inches. About that sort of size. probably getting about 4 out of each strip of pork belly. There's another one there which it's just all fat, no point in using that. There's another one there. Obviously, if you can find nice thick meaty ones, better for you, better for everybody. That's looking pretty good. So if I remove this fat out of the way now, so what I want to do now is put some of the rub on. Use a little tiny bit of olive oil just to get the rub to stick. And we're going to cover these with our barbecue rub. You can let this, if you wanted to do this the night before and just let them sit there and marinate, but I don't normally worry too much about that. I'll just get plenty of rub on them, let them sit for half an hour and they're good to go. That's it. So what I like to do now, get those to one side. That's the rack we're going to be using. What I'll do is I'll soak a cloth, a bit of olive oil, and just run that over the grate that they're going to go on. Just to stop some sticking. Leave them like that, and then we'll just load up this grate. Right, so we're just waiting for the temperature to come up and then stabilise. So at the moment the pit temperature is just increasing now. I want to get it up to about 250, and then I'll get it up to about 230, and then I'll start shutting it down. I'm looking for 250 to 275. Right, let's get these on. Just fit. Now you can put these straight onto the grill, but if you put them onto these little plates, they're easier to just pick up in one hit, take off. So yeah, we'll stick them on there now, and we'll see how we go. I'm going to get these off. Got plenty of smoke on them. Used a cherry wood in this today. squeezing much of that up. So what we'll do now is do part 2 of these. We'll get some sugar on them and some butter. Right, so there we go. We're on for about 2.5 hours. So what we're going to do now is put a little bit more sugar on them. A little bit of brown sugar. We're going to add some butter. That's great. So now we'll put these back in for about another hour. Put these back on. And we'll have a look at that in about another hour and 20 minutes. So these burnt ends are pretty much done now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tip out some of this that's in there. I'm going to put a little bit of barbecue sauce over this, and then I'm going to let them sit in here again for about another 10-15 minutes just to do the final glaze on top of them. Right, so I've put these on a different, just another fresh plate. Got rid of all the fat and the juices. Now what I'm going to do now, just add a bit of my favourite Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. Plenty on there, don't be shy. Just give that a little mix up, like so. That's great. And now we'll stick these back on the Kamado and just let them tack off for sort of like 15 minutes.